The journey begins with the tour around Everest Valley. From our stopover at Pheriche, we fly north to Patthar. Tobuche is west of Mount Everest and connected to Cholatse by a long and winding ridge. Descending from the east face of Cholatse is where the Chola Glacier is. The snow-covered mountains are Lobuche, Hungchi and Chumbu. All these mountains are bordered to Tibet, China. Lobuche has two peaks, which is the east and far east. It is also one of the most popular peaks to climb. Lobuche village is a favorite stopover among hikers to Everest Base Camp. Mount Pumori can easily be identified with its pyramid-like shape. It is known to be technically difficult to climb and requires high-altitude climbing expertise. The tremor from a deadly avalanche that started from Pumori to Everest Base Camp occurred when a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal on the 25th of April 2015. At least 22 people were killed. The most notable identifiable mountain is Mount Lingtren with its long ridge drop. Mount Everest is just slightly south and east of Mount Lingtren. The first of the helicopter landing is at Patthar. It has a magnificent 360-degree panoramic view of the Mahanaugnir Himalayan range. It is the closest you can get to see Mount Everest. You get to view Mount Nuptse, Almadablam and many other mountain peaks south of where the helipad is. The next landing viewpoint is at Hotel Everest View. It is the highest-placed hotel in the world, situated within the Sagarmatha National Park. The high temperature between the months of April to October is in the range of 15 degrees Celsius, while November to March is in the range of 8 degrees Celsius. It can get as low as -10 degrees Celsius. Everest is the furthest left with the drifting snow. You also see Almadablam, Tamsurku, and Tobuche mountains. The final landing view is at Pheriche, a small village. The oxygen level here gets a lot tougher of 58%. The maximum temperature is in June 14 degrees Celsius, while in January is 1 degrees Celsius and can get as cold as 15 degrees Celsius. You get to view Tobuche and Cholatse mountains. Climbers to Mount Everest can undergo acclimatization period here. Acclimatization is a vital aspect of high-altitude trekking to prevent altitude sickness. Himalayan Rescue Association aid post is also located here. Yaks, a species of long-haired domesticated cattle, can be commonly seen roaming freely. Mount Makalu, the fifth highest mountain in the world, peaks at 8,463 meters, or 27,765 feet.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, so that I can continue making more video contents like this.
Namche Bazaar is situated at 3,440 meters, or 11,286 feet. It is the gateway to the Everest Base Camp and the heart of the Sherpa community. The town offers an authentic glimpse into Sherpa life. To the west of Namche Bazaar is Kongri Mountain at 6,187 meters, or 20,299 feet. To the east is Mount Tamsurku at 6,623 meters or 21,729 feet. Phortse is a small village within Sagarmatha National Park, and at the base of Tobuche Mountain Peak. It has a high trail connection to Pangpoche. Climbers can trek from Phortse and Dingboche, and will take about 6 hours. Hiking from Phortse to Pheriche will take 3 to 4 hours. Lukla Airport is located at an elevation of 2,846 meters, or 9,337 feet. The runway is 527 meters, or 1,792 feet long by 30 meters, or 98 feet width, with a parking capacity of 4 aircraft. During takeoff, there is a 2,000 feet sheer drop at the end of the runway. During landing, there is a high terrain immediately at the end of a runway. It has a high gradient of 11.7%. Because of these as well as pockets of cloud, surrounding mountain ranges, sheer distant, wind shear, and thin air, it is one of the most dangerous airports in the world. There is no instrument landing system or ILS. The entire ride can sometimes be bumpy. Bear in mind that from Lukla to Everest, the helicopter will need to fly at an altitude of between 15,000 to 20,000 feet. It is pretty high to fly. Compare this to the average altitude of a commercial flight Boeing 737 between 31,000 and 34,000 feet.